I'm gonna give this a fucking solid go and a half. And then I'm gonna probably call it a night. Wow, no assists. I thought for sure Pieta would have been the one to help you here. But nothing. That's... Huh. This game has for the most part been pretty good about giving you an ally when you need it. I even got an ally for that fight in the fucking area earlier, the fucking promenade or whatever. But no summon here. That's... I don't know how I feel about that. Wow, strong overheads. Wonder if she's immune to poison. That's hard to see. Fuck. Oh, fuck, that was kind of a waste. What? Fuck off! She has an enrage like that? Fucking hell. Cool design. Much more fair than I was anticipating, actually. I could see that being in Dark Souls. Oh, and she becomes a fucking... That's pretty cool. Oh wait, is this a phase 2?
I will incinerate your soul with holy fire for this profanation. Lowly blasphemer!
Oh. God damn it.
In Radiance Judgment.
I wasted a fucking full heal on that. That was pretty easy. I guess I'm used to it now. I do lose the poison benefit of that, but I think there are a lot of enemies that I can't poison anyway. So. And yeah, knowing this boss has a really, really aggressive second phase, while I'm sure I can beat the first phase fine, I've got my doubts about being able to beat the first phase with enough resources to properly tackle the second phase. And I don't want to switch to a sword and board this late into the game. That would kind of suck. So I'm going to try and summon a lamp bearer. If I can't, I'll just not. But I want to give it a shot. I haven't played with anyone online in a while, too. Oh, wow, man. That must mean I have to come all the way around. Or maybe there's... Like, I'm wondering if there's a way in from... I guess there's a hole there. I'm guessing that's the return from after the boss fight. Yeah, that's the way you get back. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, of course there would be a second phase. You can see the first, or you can see it there, and you assume you would jump down and fight this version of the boss, but you actually fight the past version, then the future version. That's a little... I mean, I actually like the past version more, like, aesthetically. I think that's cooler. It kind of sucks you have to do them both, like, one after another. Usually when there are bosses like this, I prefer they be two separate bosses. Weirdly enough, the way Dark Souls 2 handles its final boss section is probably the best version, where you fight... Well, first of all, you can fight the fucking Throne Watchers and Defenders as soon as you get to Lothric Castle. Oh, no, sorry, not Lothric Castle, Drangleic Castle. You don't have to wait till the end of the game to fight them. You can get them out of the way first if you want to. But, if you do fight them at the end, every single like boss there is its own separate boss. It's like you don't have to fight the Throne Watchers and Nishandra and fucking Aldia all in one go. If you beat each stage, you have that stage beaten. They don't just come back for the next one. That's something I feel like Dark Souls unfortunately never learned. Weird, because Dark Souls 2 is made by a different dev team than the other Souls games. Dark Souls games have a bad habit of not saving any of your progress in a boss fight. Whereas, like, say a boss has 3 fucking phases, you don't get to keep the damage, you don't get to, like, keep the death of the first, like... I'm fine if it's a boss that has different, like, iterations. I don't like it when it's clearly multiple bosses, and you kill one, and then another boss fight happens. Like, not even, like, there were 2 enemies in the boss fight and you killed one, and then the first enemy you killed comes back if you die against the other boss. I'm talking about bosses where you kill a boss, and then a new boss enters the boss room to fight you. Like the final boss of Elden Ring with the Elden Beast. That is clearly a separate entity. Or, fucking... What's a good example of it? There's a lot in this game, actually, of like, hey, more boss. Which is irritating. Dark Souls 2 has a handful of examples, but they're actually fairly good about that, so... But yeah, I don't like it when I kill a boss and then another boss shows up and I have to fight both of them over again. Armored Core 6 actually has the same problem as well. But that's a little bit more forgivable, I guess, because the fucking... It's not like the bosses are a separate level, so fine. It's still irritating in 6 because 6 has checkpoints. Which, there's only, what, one other Armored Core game that has checkpoints, and that's fucking Armored Core 5. Even Verdict Day doesn't have checkpoints. You just have to do the level over again in Verdict Day, which I found kind of interesting. I almost feel like 5 and Verdict Day could be one game, considering they have a fucking... It's like a direct sequel, in that usually Armored Core games, the next game in the series has very little to do with the previous game, only sharing some like vague locational similarities and maybe a handful of like plot points. Usually not plot points, more just like, hey, remember when this thing happened in the previous game? Well, here's that place, but destroyed now. That's usually what you get in like a sequel to an Armored Core game, without much like actual direct continuity. Despite most of them taking place in the same sort of like area or chronology. I highly doubt I'm gonna get a multiplayer character or player for this. This feels like a boss fight that Pieta should help me with, and the fact that she doesn't is actually kind of frustrating, because this boss is substantially more aggressive than most of the other bosses I've fought so far. Like, most of their bosses in the game have been super high damage, but moderate in terms of aggression. There's been one or two that were really aggressive, but for the most part, they've been pretty clean. This one's really aggressive and somewhat hard to dodge, because it has a lot of weird timing. Also, I wasted a fucking Divine Blessing on this boss fight. I've only found 3 of those in the entire game, and I've used 2 of them. One of them to good effect. This one feels wasted. If it had been a separate phase boss fight, it wouldn't have mattered, because I would have been able to beat it, and that would have been fine. It would have been acceptable use. This is the classic problem of, I don't want to use a consumable because I'll waste it, but usually that's a fallacy, because it doesn't matter, and you'll usually, like, that stops you from using the consumables whatever, and you'll usually get enough of them for it to not matter. But here, it actually did matter, because these are highly limited, and it was wasted. It's the one time this fucking, like, weird mental, fucking paradox has actually been proven to be correct. Which is not helping my OCD. I guess the only thing to do is practice, I guess, but I don't want to do that.
Aberrant child.
It also doesn't help that my extensive use, or, practice with Dark Souls is actually hurting me here, because this game doesn't have a direct, like, gameplay, like, parallel. It's different enough from Dark Souls that it actually doesn't help when I use the knowledge I know about Dark Souls to try and assist me. Because it actually shares a lot of similarities with Bloodborne and Sekiro in some ways. It has the modular... Oh shit. That backswing is so fucking wide. I bet I have to dodge in the wrong direction to fucking not get hit by it. Or rather, I mean, I have to dodge in the opposite direction. I'm used to dodging to the right because most enemies in Souls games have swings that are not really good at dodge or fucking hitting you if you dodge to the right. Fuck, I hit the button. That was way too early. I also don't know how I feel about every, like, boss in the game having a really, really aggressive heat up. Guess what the hell? That was the same dodge timing, but I didn't get hit that time. She's really similar to Artorias as well in her moveset. It's just her ranges and timing are different. Like, that's very similar to Artorias' standard combo. And, like, his stinger he usually does afterwards, too. This is different, though. I would say that's similar to his heat up, but I don't know if I can interrupt it, so I don't feel comfortable going in on it. if that was Artorias, I would absolutely go in on his heat up. Because you can prevent him from actually getting his heat up and completely stagger him out of it. I wonder if it's worth it to just do the fucking heavy attacks and not even try to do light attack. Fuck. The problem is, if I get hit by a single attack, I basically have to use a healing item because she does so much damage that there's not really any option for me there. Ow. It's like a shotgun blast. Because if you get hit by one part of that combo, you're getting hit by all of it. So it's like, well, I can do the first phase for the most part. I don't think this is going to be the attempt where I get the first phase this time, but that second phase, man, I was not prepared for it. Like, look at that! Fuck! I know when you're in the Umbral Realm, it actually makes it a little bit easier for you because certain, like, effects don't exist. But I'm not sure what that is with this fight. Maybe it's that the thorns don't do as much damage. Because, like, when I was fighting some of the other enemies, when I got sent to the Umbral Realm, like, it got rid of stage hazards, or it did other stuff, or it made it easier to see. But I'm not sure if there's a concession in this fight, because I can't imagine what it would be. It's like, they're not going to negate her fucking elemental damage, or, like, get rid of the radius or something. I don't know. I really want just, like, another character to distract her. I don't even... When I'm summoning a character for a fight, it's usually not even that I want, like, assistance doing damage. I just want someone to occasionally take her attention off of me. That's literally it. Fuck. Ah, damn. Not doing as well this time. Fuck off. I think it's because I got the fucking hard one out of the way first last time. Fuck you. Where is the other one? Someone rang the doorbell earlier. I wonder who that was. I'm not gonna go check it. I mean, there's like 3 people downstairs. They can do it. I'm just curious. I wonder who takes the time to light all these candles, or if they're just always lit. 'Cause it's magic or something. Wow. Hell. I don't think I survived that with enough resources to beat the second phase. I really like the first design a lot more, if I'm being honest. I think the second one's a bit much. Like, I know she's supposed to be evil now, but...
I will incinerate
Also,
your
are you Pietta's
soul
mom?
with holy fire for this profanation. Lowly blasphemer!
Cool sword, though. The question is, how much of her moveset is still the same? Shit. Okay, that's no. Oh, it goes back? Really? Shit. Fuck off. Yeah, I get it. Christ. You can hear this fucking vibration, right? Man. Ugh.